What's up guys, this is Astranox. In this video I want to talk about Last Epoch, which I just started playing yesterday. Season 3 just dropped. It was yesterday, and I've made a Void Knight. I'm in Hardcore solo self-found, but this game has two different things. I'm playing solo account found. You can play solo character found. So if you die with solo character found, you lose everything, right? But I'm playing solo account found. So if I find some cool stuff, I can just like have them on another character and try some builds out. So let me show you guys my character. What I really like about this game, right? Last Epoch, is that first the stash. The stash is crazy because you can use just gold that you find in the game, and you can just expand that thing up to like 200 pages, which is insane. And in Hardcore, I'm just buying pages, right? So here's my character. To be honest, like, it's my first playthrough, right? I went in there blind. I don't know what's up with the story. I don't know what I'm doing, really. I've played a lot of ARPGs. I've played, of course, Diablo 2, Path of Exile, Grim Dawn, Torchlight. I mean, I've played a lot of ARPGs, thousands upon thousands of hours in ARPGs. I like the game. What I really like is the fact that you can just change your build. Like, you can, you know, I'm a Sentinel, I'm a Void Knight. But like, if let's say you spec into Forge Guard, Paladin, like, you have a lot of options, right? Like, there's a lot of different builds that you can go with, and I can just change my skills, and then each skill has a tree that you can spec into. So there's so much possibilities. It is insane. If I start doing this is actually like level 62. I went in there as Hardcore, and I opened the minimap, and the zone was actually 62. I thought it would scale based on my character, but initially I believe like they have a fixed level, and then maybe later on it's based on your character level. But like at the very start, like the lowest it can be is 62. So I thought, like, what if I can find a strategy to like power level? I'm going in there with like 400 health, right? In a Hardcore. If I get one-shotted, that's the end of my character. It's 62. I'm just 50. So I think I should be like maybe 8 level difference at least, right? Like maybe 54, and then, like, you know, I'm gonna bulk it up, and I'm gonna see what I'm gonna be able to do in there. But I think that's the way to like kind of like power level in this game if you know what you're doing. But I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm going in there blind, and I don't want to lose my character, which is yeah, I mean, like, I don't want to lose all this. And I actually got some nice drops because I've been farming nemesises. So I've been pushing in the story, but as soon as I see like a nemesis, I pop that thing and I down the nemesis, or sometime I empower it, and then it seems like you have a better chance to get like not unique, because this is a legendary, right? But these like items, they have like a unique version, and then the legendary version is like stronger with maybe an extra prefix, something like that, from what I understand. But like, unique is what I have on my character. Beside the helm, you can see this is a set for the Void Knight, and I actually have the shield, and I need to like go for the 2-piece. But right now I am dual wielding, which is doing a lot of damage. As soon as I turn this thing on, insane damage, completely insane. In Sentinel, 1 point into Gladiator, when you have 20 points in there, that's your 21st point. Gladiator allows you to dual wield, and my damage just went crazy because I was like using one hand, like sword and board. And then when I switched to that, my damage more than doubled because my other one-hander deals incredible damage, right? But the thing is, the reason I went with this, even though I'm in Hardcore, damage taken while dual wielding plus 8%. So that's risky, right? But the thing is, I'm going to show you guys my character in a moment here in action. The Humming Bee is completely overpowered. This is an insane sword. As soon as I noticed how ward works in this game, this is like a shield on top of your health, and it cannot be bypassed. Like, let's say, you know, the shielding in Path of Exile, if you don't have like that CI, chaos inoculation, like poison, chaos damage can bypass and attack your health, right? Damage your health instead of your shield. But the ward is like a shield, but nothing can bypass ward. So that's very safe to use. And this thing, when you AoE, 7 ward gain on melee hit allows me to just stack my ward up to as much health that I have, so I can get 1062 HP, and I can build my ward up to 1062, and I've even built my ward over that. I'm not sure how that works. Maybe like I was hitting so many enemy that the game is like kind of like losing its mind and is like, okay, I'll give you more. But yeah, I think it's capped based on how much health you have, unless you have to like put points into intellect. You need some gear. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but that thing is crazy. The damage is not so good. Like if I put that thing alone and I'm not dual wielding, Warpath is 789 DPS, right? If I put this weapon instead of that one, 1219, but that's a legendary. You know, you got that 16 melee fire damage, but then when you put both, this has to be in the offhand, the sword, 2069. So that is pretty nuts. From going from 908 to more than doubling, right, is insane. And then, you know, it's about getting like stats that will make me survive better, deal more damage. That neck is completely OP because like void damage is my damage, right? And you get crit with void skills, time rod damage over time, void damage based. Very crazy. But the survivability on this thing is way better than wearing a shield if you can dual wield, or if you're gonna like sword and board initially and then swap to dual wielding later. Ridiculous. When I saw this thing, like my survivability skyrocketed and I was very comfortable like pushing content. I've done content that like I was under leveled and I'm just like going in there and like attacking nemesises. And the other massive thing is that when I pop a potion, instead of healing me, I can get a shield, which is the ward, which is insane. Your potions grant ward instead of health. Chains of Urus is insane. Like that allows you to comfortably like get that ward going, like as soon as you start fighting a nemesis, or as soon as you start fighting like a something that's about to happen, that's you cannot, it's inevitable, like you will take the damage, right? It's beautiful to have that. It's very, very strong. Like you don't need to rely just on your health pool. It feels so much more comfortable to play in hardcore because of that. And then like I got these boots not too long ago, like health, flat health increase is massive. Boots have that. My gloves have that. My chest doesn't have that anymore. I used to have like the summoner chest that has health on. I'm getting warpath increase. I'm getting thrown, like axe getting thrown when I use warpath, and I'm not even spec'd into like throwing axes when I warpath. So that was a nice damage increase, especially look at that, increased physical damage while dual wielding, crazy stuff. And that thing is like crit chance built in, like affix, and then I get more crit chance, right? It's insane. And then when I crit, I can build ward as well, but it's not even comparable to how much ward I build with the humming bee. Like if I start a new account, I can at level 6 have the humming bee like just carry my ass. It is nuts. I really like that movement speed I got out of this. This works. I keep getting like minion gear for minion builds. It's insane. Insane. And then, yeah, I mean, like, I got a lot of damage out of this because of the strength. That lightning resist was nice. That mana regen between, like, doing warpath, very nice. It's actually helping me a lot because my lightning resist is only 35, so I'm getting a lot of value out of that. I should increase my resists to a higher level. This is, like, not that great, right? But, yeah, like, look, like, stash pages. I've just been dumping my gold for stash pages. So even if I lose my character, right, I can rebuild. But here in the nice category, I got my uniques. Look at that. I got all these uniques. You can just like pause if you want to see. But look at that. Like I have like such a high amount of uniques because I've been just taking out nemesises non-stop. So like I can start a summoner, right? Like I can wear like summoning gear. That's not a summoning weapon, is it? No, it is. Yeah, the chest. I've been wearing this chest for a long time for that health. Even though it has low armor, it's insane. So yeah, I could definitely make a very strong summoner with all that gear. So that's the weapon that I was wearing before I got the legendary one. And it's the same. It's the same. Besides, like, I got more crit. A chance to inflict bleed is higher on the legendary, but that 16 melee fire damage, like if I swap that, you can see Warpath 2069, 1904. So it was definitely a direct upgrade, which is very nice. But like, the other cool thing is that a unique requires level 13 and the legendary requires level 13 as well. That means like you can later on have some insane twin gear. Like twin gear means like it's gonna be gear that you can use on a new character that you make. Like since I play hardcore, that is insane because like that's why I play you know, not the solo character found, but I play the solo account found, so I can use all this gear on new characters, so it speed things up and it's a lot more fun, like item chase. And then let's say you get that crazy item that's super rare and you're not playing that, right? But then you can be like, you know what, I'm gonna make a new character to fully use that thing, to actually use it, because it's just gonna like be in the stash if you're not using it, right? That bleeding heart amulet was actually pretty nice. I've used it for a while, and like that damage leech as health was pretty solid. I like using that thing until I switched to that humming bee that I got at like level 25 or something like that. But imagine if you get this thing early on, you're pretty much immortal. Like you just need to attack quick. If you attack quick, you build that ward super fast. So I'm gonna be showing you guys very soon. But yeah, that's the uniques that I found, a lot of them, right? That's another really crazy one. X Sanguinis. That right here makes it so your life just like, I'm gonna put it on. Look at my life. Look at that. It's just going. It's just going. And then ward is getting built instead. Like I'm worried, like am I gonna die if I leave it on, right? Like I don't think so. I read online that, you know, you will have basically will have 1 HP, and then the ward will keep building, and the lesser amount of health you have, you're just basically going to tick 20% ward, like 20% of your health in ward per second, from what I understand. 20% of current health loss per second. So if you don't have any leech and you're staying at 1 HP, 1 health, that means you're basically getting 20% of your health in ward per second. So that armor in hardcore could be insane actually for a caster. So I kind of want to try. There's a lot of stuff I want to try out because it is nuts, like all the possibilities in this game. And like I said, like you can swap builds so easily. I can just swap these abilities for other ones. Let's say I don't want to use like multi-strike. Instead of multi-strike, I want to go with Rive, right? So yeah, I could just go in multi-strike, respec, remove despecialized skill. Like you will remove every point and just take the skill off of here. And then you can go in there and start building another one. You want to build like Javelin, Rive, like basically you want to have a skill that doesn't cost anything, mana cost wise, and then you want to use something that costs mana to dump your mana. And yeah, this is my charge ability. This is my AoE, my whirlwind, you know, spin to win. And then I got my charge, lunge, and then I got I don't use this. Like if I had a two-hander, let's say, I could probably use like Void Cleave. That could be pretty good, I guess. Multi-strike is my, you know, my mana builder, right? So like when I don't have mana for Warpath, I just multi-strike. It has pretty solid single target damage, especially when you use like one-handers, right? And then I got my mana, like massive AoE. This is like a massive slam and PoE. So yeah, right, this here. Basically the name, Erasing Strike. It basically erases monsters. It's ridiculous how powerful that thing is. It does have a cooldown. I can build 2 charges. I've built into it. That's what I'm going with. You can see, you can pause if you wonder what I'm running. I'm not running anything optimal. This is a new one that I've, because I reached level 50, so I'm using Volatile Reversal. I'm trying something out here with Echoing, and like maybe like Erasing Strike with echoing the Erasing Strike or something like that. But yeah, basically it's like AoE spin to win. I need mana, I have multi-strike, and I can charge from pack to pack, right? This has 2 charge because I've built the double strike. And that's basically my character. Like, and with that gear and my stats, like you can see my resistances are pretty solid. Void is high because I mean I'm a Void Knight, so that's what happens. You get a lot of it. Necrotic, I built a lot of that. So yeah, my poison is low, my cold is low, my lightning is not so good. So I definitely need to max all my resistances. I need to bring them to 75. It's rough. Because I'm still early game. So my armor, I mean, like, look at that, 37% damage mitigation. I think that works on everything. Actually, wait, no. Mitigating 26% of the damage if it's non-physical damage. But then there's physical resistance as well. So, like, there's a lot of damage reduction happening with all these different layers of, you know, protection, different layers of survivability, right? So I feel comfortable with my character to just like tackle a lot of nemesises. Now I've been pushing like level 50 content. I'm not too sure. I need to like get a feel for it. But yeah, basically for hardcore, I'm going for flat health as much as possible. And really like that ward buildup is insane. Completely insane. And that's some of the idols that I have, right? Like nothing crazy, but pushing the story allows you to have more idle slots as well as having more passive points, right? So you can see like 21 in the Sentinel, and then Void Knight I have 39 points. So the pushing the campaign has been very rewarding for all that, because it's a lot of stats, right? Like a lot of like damage, like penetration for like Void, physical, like that's big. That is big. Just like boosting my damage, boosting my survivability has been very nice for hardcore, especially. A lot of survivability, increased damage as well. Very, very useful. So I want to go in there and show you guys how this character works. And I really like that you can like get out of danger, right? That makes things a lot easier. I usually use it for like, you know, getting to things faster, but when it comes down to like combat, getting out of a sticky situation is that thing can be a lifesaver. Yeah, I mean, like a lot of times there's some attacks that might be very deadly, so I can get out of there, but my character feels so comfortable that I can just tank a lot of the stuff coming my way because of the ward gain on melee hit. And the thing is, in a hardcore, like since I'm doing a blind playthrough and I'm in hardcore and I can't buy stuff from the auction house because I'm playing solo self-found, then like I need to test the waters. I need to see how much the abilities of the enemy are hitting for, especially when I'm fighting like nemesises. I need to figure out their skill kit, what like I need to get out of, like what is dangerous and what can be tanked with my build. So that's how you figure out if you're able to do like push the content, do pretty much everything. The only thing I don't do is the rift beasts. I went in there early game, there was that rain falling on me and I was taking like 300 damage multiple times per seconds. I saw my health just getting like, I just rolled out of there, and it's overtuned. It seems like it's overtuned all those rift beasts or whatever in ancient era, because like there's a monster that shoot like a bunch of like darts, and one of those monsters can shoot like 5-6 darts like super crazy fast, and just one of those was taking like over 50 of my health, and at the time I had something like 200-300 HP, and that's one monster. And that rain that spot rain thing was doing like hundreds of damage multiple times per second. Like I just saw my health like just getting disappearing. Basically my character was about to get deleted basically. So in the game there's multiple eras. So like initially I think you're like in ruined era, and then you can take like a portal or like a rift, and you can go in ancient era. And like there's multiple like chapters, like acts, let's say, if you're familiar with that from other ARPGs. And yeah, it's like ruined era, then imperial era, and then like divine era. You get unlocked, the end of time unlocks after like ruined era or something like that. And you could, like, if you're in softcore, I think you can power level in Monolith of Fate. I'm gonna be getting more levels before I go in there. I'm thinking like maybe 55, around that. I'm gonna attempt this in a hardcore and see if I can kind of like power level. I know some people in softcore are doing that since level 35 to power level. That's how the rank 1 in softcore reach level 100 super fast. But I think his character, I mean, he knows what he's doing. He's not doing a blind playthrough, so that's the thing. And his character, he knows the inside out of it, and I'm pretty sure, I think he's playing like a druid and he's one-shotting everything. And I don't know, he might be super tanky when he goes in his like bear form or something like that. So Imperial era, where I was farming before, actually insane spot for farming. I basically went from like low 40, and I was like low level 40s up to 50 basically, but at like 40, yeah, up to 50 you can do that very quick. So the immortal submit is insane, right? Completely busted. That zone is level 43. I'm just gonna show you guys in action what it looks like. That place is busted for XP because the packs are super dense, super dense, and it's not really hard. Spin to win, baby. Just like that. Actually, I should be bringing the volume down. Let me just... I should bring the volume down. Yeah, I don't want to die. Whoa. Imagine that. I just like lose my character like that just because I'm like fixing my volume. Okay. So I'll show you guys how crazy this zone is. Now that was like, you don't see the actual packs properly. Like this, that's one of the packs basically. Shrine, you want to take that, but like I just like murder everything super fast. It's all good. You basically do like the 2 upper packs, and that's it. You can just go in there. You can either go to town and come back, or just go to the next zone, which is like a double boss zone, which I've done already. You go back. Oh wow, 2 pylon. That's crazy. So you can see like how many monsters are in there, right? Like just crazy. And I just melt them away. I would like to show you guys like a nemesis. So if a nemesis shows up here, I'm just gonna like do it to show you guys how like easy the build is able to tackle nemesises. Most of the players in a hardcore are building a paladin, because like it's super insane, super tanky. That's not the right button. So yeah, the paladin is super tanky. I think the paladin can just spam heal on himself and basically kind of be immortal. And I think the paladin also does insane damage. So yeah, I decided to make this character because I saw someone on Reddit. I saw like a bunch of blades just like deleting a whole screen with the Void Knight, and I was like, yo, that sounds cool for a first character. Just like kind of like walk and like just destroy everything. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna try a Void Knight. Seems pretty fun. So here, that's the thing. The Rift piece is right there. Yeah, not gonna do that because I mean, I could go in there. It's probably not that hard anymore. I think it's overtuned early on, and I think my character now is very tanky. You can see my ward is just building up to like insane level while I'm doing an AoE. That's the thing. So if my mana is low, I need to like single target the monsters. But you know, the farm is good, right? Like up to like maybe 48, it's very quick. Then it slows down 49, 50, and especially now I'm at 50, so it's not that great, right? The amount of XP that I get. So I like to just slam the big guys, and the small one will just get deleted. You can see, like, look at my ward. Like, I can't even build my ward up because I don't even have... The monsters just get deleted, and I can't deal damage to them anymore. So I can't show you guys how crazy it becomes. But the problem with this build, like using that that sword, that bee sword, which is the problem with the humming bee weapon is that if you're not doing AoE attacks like crazy, like super fast, if your attack speed is not so quick, if you're just gonna be slamming, like, you're not gonna get so much value out of that, right? But as soon as you start doing like small hits very fast to multiple monsters, you're just going to go so crazy with that ward buildup. And you can basically sustain all kind of damage that the enemy throws at you if you have enough monsters. And the trick with fighting Nemesises was basically what you do is that you drag the Nemesis to like a lot of monsters, so I can build my ward up and I can find more potions because my potion gives me ward, right? So I'm able to just like boost my survivability, and if I need to, you know, kind of kite the Nemesis because it's dangerous. If it's like dealing poison damage and I don't have poison resist, I have 21%. It can be pretty nasty, seeing all the ward getting degened and then my health going down when my potion are not giving me health. So that can be a big problem. So I gotta like run out and look for monsters to get some potions to drop, and also build my ward from the monster so it doesn't degen. So that's the thing with ward, it degens over time. So you need to always be fighting. But yeah, if I pop a potion, you can see here. You see I got a bunch of ward. I can just pop another potion. You can see, look, I'm max ward just from my potions. It's just insane. And then as soon as you start using potions, the monsters start dropping potions. So you can refill really fast. And that allows you to just, you know, like fight a lot of crazy packs, because you can kind of like spam potions, and that allows you to just, you know, do stuff that might be much harder for you to do otherwise. So even if I go in tough, you know, content, by having that stupid sword, I mean, it's not stupid because it's great, I'm able to build a lot of ward, which is going to be like kind of countering the damage that they're dealing to me. And also the potions are my backup, right? Like, look, I can pop the potion. I feel threatened. I pop a potion again. You will see the potion did just drop again. You see, I'm back to 3 potions already, because as you're like doing a spin to win, your potion is just like you're just picking a bunch of potions up. So it's basically that simple. And I'm gonna go to a different zone because here it seems to be pretty rough to actually get Nemesis Shrine. Yeah. So I'm gonna go in a different zone. So I'm gonna show you guys how fast it is to deal with a Nemesis and how safe it is. Here, I'm popping a potion. I'm popping another potion. Like, if I want, I can pop like 2-3 potion, and they will come back. Look at that. That glyph is crazy, and I have not done any crafting, guys. Like, I've done a bit of crafting to improve my rare gear, but I've noticed that there is a glyph that actually allows you to turn rare into unique. So basically you can target the slot that you want, and you can get a random unique with that thing. Actually, I want to show you guys, because when I saw that, I was like, wow. The Rune of Ascendance. Guys, I have just 6 of those. Maybe you can't get them so easily. Actually, I thought I had more than that. But changes the item into a unique or set item of the same item type. Using this on a silver ring could turn it into any unique ring, including ones that are not silver rings. However, it cannot turn it into a helmet. So like if you're missing a few slots, or if you're like hunting for, let's say you want this crazy sword, the humming bee, right? Because you want that ward gain on melee hit. And the thing is, the range is between 3 and 7. So if you get 3, that's rough, because 7 is more than double 3. So yeah, big variation there. So yeah, you could be hunting for whatever you need. So like I could go for rings, because actually this one is quite solid, but this one I kind of want to replace. So that's pretty cool. But I think usually I like to keep things like that for later, because I might really need something when I figure things out better, right? Because with the blind playthrough and only being level 50, there's a lot of stuff to learn, and I don't want to like start losing all this stuff. Now the question that I have is that in hardcore, what about my crafting materials? I believe that these crafting materials, like I should just make another character just to see what happens if I have access to all these materials. But like out of all these things that I have, right? Like I have a lot of stuff, right? I have all these things here. Like if I lose my character, are they gone? What about all these? Are they gone if I lose my character? That's the thing I'm wondering. That Glyph of Envy seems pretty hype when it drops. Change the item subtype to a different one with the same class requirement when adding or upgrading an affix. Yeah, so like I wonder, like, am I losing all these things? What about the gold on my character? I think that's lost. And you can see the Rift Beast, I didn't do too many because I only have 259 of those. But there seems to be some pretty crazy items in there. So I'm wondering, because when I press transfer, apparently that's to transfer the materials to the forge. But like, is the forge account wide, or is the forge like character wide? So that's why I've been using my gold to just expand my stash, because I just want to put the stuff in there. You know, I even have some set. That's the shield that's crazy that I got, and that's perfect. It actually rolled real nice. So yeah, I'm thinking that, like, actually if I put that thing with my one-hand axe, 2069 to 1886, and that means I can respec out of the gladiator to take, so I don't take 8% more damage, right? And I have an extra point to assign. So if I put that, yeah, that's pretty solid. More survivability, some blocking, and you know, that void damage is getting some nice boosts. And I get void penetration with time rot with the 2-piece set, and later 3-piece set. It's gonna be nice, but that's the plan. I'm gonna switch that up later. But for now, I'm gonna just keep it in there because I wanted to show you guys this dual wielding setup. And like, I have a lot of stuff, man. Like, I'm sure like a lot of you that play the game are like, that's stuff that I've replaced with unique gear, but that's a lot of stuff that I found, right? Like legendary, so I got only these plus what I'm wearing. So like that's some pretty crazy stuff, but this requires level 24, 38. But imagine like you start a new character, and like I make a summoner, and at level 5 I can wear like this, I can wear this, I can be wearing this, I can wear this, and some other stuff to boost like my survivability. And I have a lot of minion stuff all over the place. This requires level 12. So like I'd be good to go basically. So I could just speed through the campaign, and I mean, hell, maybe I would be able to just go and power level myself in here, the Monolith of Fate. But I really want to try it out before I you know, rip another character that's too weak. I need to try it out with this one to see how much damage the enemy deals, how much damage I need to do to take them out. Like, can I just like, do I have to take the boss out to grind experience, or I can just AoE packs and just like get out of there and start again, and kind of like power level like that when I'm lower level. Or range attacks are way more powerful when it comes down to surviving, especially if you're doing very tough content. So that would be the way to go, I guess. Okay, I want to end it on popping a Nemesis. I'm gonna go in there and let's see if I can find a Nemesis, because that would be great to show it. I mean, the zone is only level 40, right? I had to go back because that zone I was doing was not so good at all to find a Nemesis shrine. Oh, there it is. Okay, we got a Nemesis right here. So like, usually when you're hunting for Nemesis, okay, you press it and then you check what they have, right, for you, because it will drop everything. So like the scavenger, what is that? Is that good for me? Well, the belt that I have changed my potion to grant me ward instead of health, so that's very good. But if I change to that, gain haste for 3 seconds on potion use. Okay, chance to find potion. Okay, that's pretty cool. Dodge rating increase on 4 potion slot. So if you're not happy with that, what you can do is empower, and basically you'll have a better chance to get, you know, potentially instead of a unique, it's going to be a legendary. And that, I believe, happens maybe more often later on in the game. But I think earlier on, if you're comfortable with your character, you can just empower and like grind for some legendary, because the legendary have the same level as the unique. It's just stronger. And then you could start with a new character full of like legendaries, and you're just gonna murder everything, the campaign, and then like gonna be able to power level. So it will drop everything, right? So that's pretty cool. But if you're not happy, you can banish. If you don't want to deal with, because when you empower the Nemesis, you're gonna beat like a tier 1 Nemesis, and then it's gonna drop a bunch of shards. It will not drop any of the gear, but the next time you encounter a Nemesis one, you will potentially see like a legendary in there, or like a different unique, or anyways, or you can empower it some more. I only did empower once because I felt like the tier 2 empower was enough. Or you can banish, and then the next time is going to be like new gear. So I'm just going to like challenge, and you can see, okay, that's the dude that deals quite a bit of damage to me. You can see the strategy is that like I can just take it out, or I can run to packs to build up my ward and stuff like that. But now I'm just gonna, this is not such a good spot. Another strategy that's very good is that when he's already dead. What I was going to explain is that you can hit and run a lot. Like, even if you're not that tanky, if you have an attack that's like a massive slam, like a Raising Strike or whatever class you play. I mean, if you play a summoner, your summons will just take out the character. You can stay at a distance, or if you have a ranged attack, you can just like, when they're doing their big spell, you can just like kind of kite it around. But like for me, I can like kind of like do my damage, get out of there. If I have potions, right, you can either save your potion for like survivability, or you can save your potion to just like kind of like for you go full offense, like with, you know, spin to win, warpath, and you want to stay in there. You want to like take all the damage in, and you just do as much damage as possible. And you can preemptively like pop the potions because it's giving you ward if you have this setup, this belt, right? But the way I prefer to do it, especially when I do like tier 2, or if I'm going to do higher tier, is that you can kite around. This has 2 charge, a Raising Strike, right? 2, and then I can just run. It can echo as well. I can build the charge up. I can charge back in, do some, you know, some warpath, spin to win. And then like, again, you know, I do that and I run some more. Maybe I'm running to like other monsters because I'm trying to get some potion charge. There's a lot of stuff that you can do, right? There's a lot of different ways to play this, and it's a ton of fun. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos. I'm going to be showing you guys my progression, and then I'm going to be creating some crazy builds because I love to just create, you know, just crazy builds that are fun. And I mean, it could end up being like a meta thing that like, that's very powerful, but you know, just trying new builds is what I love. Like in ARPGs, and just like figure things out by myself, which is what I've been doing. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, so I got the belt. So yeah, you can guarantee to get these things. So Nemesis is really good for farming. That's like a ton of fun. Makes things so much easier. Like compared to like other games, other ARPGs. I feel like pushing the campaign, it's very smooth. If you like not like speed running it, you can like you're doing Nemesis here and there. And like I got a lot of uniques out of like not only like Nemesis, I got a lot of uniques out of like just monsters, right? Normal monsters, you know, rare monsters, or I don't know what they're called, but like kind of like bosses, act boss, or like yeah. And there's also that mage that's in like in a time warp. That mage, I even faced that mage very early on, and I was able to just like, you know, take him out without getting hit, basically, because I was kiting like crazy and I was like avoiding everything because I thought he would demolish me. And yeah, I was like level 10, like I was very low level, maybe 12, and like yeah, it was not something recommended to do at that level. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. Last Epoch Season 3, it just started yesterday. I'm just blasting, and first playthrough, so I'm just like testing the water. I'm just going to, you know, try a lot of different things. I'm learning very quick, and I'll be like, that's the thing about this game. You can just respec and try a bunch of different things. So it's very cool like that, and you can figure things out by yourself or follow some guys. There's plenty of them out there. Definitely having a blast with the Void Knight, and I'll be making a lot more characters later on. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash the like, subscribe if you want to see more. I'm Astranox. Good luck with all ya do. Peace out for now.